Hi guys, and thanks for watching our weather update on June 22nd, 2023. So today we're looking at the satellite imagery, radar imagery, the 5-day forecast, the chance of thunderstorms over the next week, and the weather for the next few weeks from weather.de. So starting off with our satellite from we.com, we can see that we've got high cloud pushing in from the west, associated with a warm front that will be swamping us into tonight. And you can see the veil of cloud pushing in from the Atlantic, and that will bring us days of very warm weather, humid weather, very muggy. Nights will be very warm, as we'll see. So it'd be a big challenge to sleep at night. That's what I'm gonna say, at the very least. And on Sunday, it will clear through with a very active cold front. This is the radar from met.ie, and you can see that we've got the first little pieces of the warm front, coming to the west, and a few heavy bursts towards the southwest, and lighter elsewhere. Also a few heavy outbreaks towards like Donegal and Northern Ireland. UKV charts are like this. So we can see this evening a few downpours, especially towards the northeast. Into tonight, we see that warm fronts that come through, bringing quite a damp spell across the country, especially for the south there, with some quite bright colours on the map. That clears through tomorrow morning towards the Irish Sea, and we're left in a very long stretch southwesterly flow, with outbreaks of rain, some heavy, especially towards the northwest, and into the end of Friday. Into Saturday, we see things drying up. Into Saturday, a few showers towards the northwest. Some must be thundery. Those clear off, and it's quite a dry day for everywhere else, pretty much. Some sunshine possibly coming through, especially there for the east. And into Saturday evening, we see some thunderstorms possibly forming over western Scotland. And into Saturday night, we see a very active cold front push through from the west. That clears towards the east on Sunday morning, and we're left with thundery showers in the afternoon. Into Sunday night, things gradually cloud over, and into Monday we see another warm front push in, mainly affecting the northern west, but it will introduce a very mild air mass after it. And into Tuesday we see another warm front pushing from the west, two warm fronts I'm pretty sure, that pushes towards Scotland and Northern Ireland before what looks like a warm sector envelops the south of Ireland, should I say. And it looks like the low pressure sort of is around here, and there'll be a cold front down the Atlantic pushing in on Tuesday night. This is the thunderstorm charts map from weatheronline.co.uk. So Friday 23rd, no thunderstorms, but Saturday 24th, you got widespread chances of like 40% towards the northeast, so possibly thunderstorms breaking out ahead of the front. A Sunday for the east, widely in the east, possibly thunderstorms forming ahead of the front again. So that's actually something to watch out for. We could see quite a thundery breakdown if things come together on Sunday morning and Saturday night. So it could all go boom, but it may not at the same time. But either way, the cold front will be active. So a lot of rain, gusty winds, probably a squall line in there as well, where you sort of get a bit of line convection. You get a lot of very intense wind and rain. Monday has the risk disappearing, and for the rest of next week, nothing pretty much. This is the GFS run. Today and tomorrow, we see the high pressure towards France, wafting in a very, very long stretch southwesterly wind all the way from the Azores. Into Saturday, the high pressure comes a bit closer to us, drying things up in the southeast, but towards the northwest, still quite wet. Sunday sees the cold front come through. You can see the way it's quite intense due to the kink in the isobars there across this part of the country, then moving towards the east. Then we're left in a cooler and showery westerly flow. Monday sees another area of low pressure with a warm front come through, and the cold front comes through Tuesday at lunchtime. As you can see, there's kinks in the isobars there, tell you that a cold front's there. Wednesday, June 28th, sees the area of low pressure towards the Faroe Islands, centres there anyway, and we drag down a wind from Iceland, so very showery and quite cool. Winds back more westerly then towards the end of June, and that is as flat as a pancake, quite warm. I'm guessing that is also quite wet at the same time. We're dragging a lot of moisture from the Atlantic as well. Into the start of July, we see that same sort of pattern continuing. Winds so westerly. The high pressure does try and build in briefly for a time. A little ridge does extend from the Azores with these ice bars sort of protruding from the high pressure, but that doesn't last long. It's soon eroded by an area of low pressure towards the 8th of July. This is the ECM run. ECM. So you can see today and tomorrow and Saturday we see a warm wind up in the southwest, so very muggy and humid and horrible. Into Sunday we see a big kink in those ice bars, showing a very active cold front come through. I'll say that would definitely have thunder on it, no doubt, or at least a very intense score line. And into Monday, we sort of see another area of low pressure form in the Atlantic, with its warm fronts and cold fronts crossing the country. Quite an intense cold front there on Wednesday, clears through to showers, and winds as flat as a pancake off the Atlantic westerly winds do come through for the start of July. And we do see blocking over Greenland. These colours over Greenland here. Pressure does rise, and it looks like that low pressure is going to go eastwards, and we could draw down a northerly wind, who knows, in July. This is the UK Met run. You can see, same story, today and tomorrow on Saturday, high pressure to our southeast, low pressure towards Greenland and Iceland, and winds come up from a long fetch southerly or southwest direction, very warm and muggy, damp. And into Sunday, we see the active cold front push through. The isobars aren't so kinky on the UK Met run, so a bit less severe with the cold front. But as we saw on the chart earlier, it looks very severe anyway. So and the ECM run, right, looks even more severe. So I'd like to know how the precip charts from the ECM will have looked on that charts. Must look very, very severe. And then after that same area of low pressure forms on like Tuesday, bringing a spell of wet and windy weather from the Atlantic. Into Wednesday and Thursday next week, we get the wind from the northwest, cool and showery, so on, so on, so on. The GEM run is next. So you can see that high pressure does go towards our southeast this weekend. At the start, especially on Saturday and on Sunday, that same front does cross the country. So quite an active cold front. That's something that we will be monitoring very closely over the next few days. because that has the potential to be a real active front. I mean, it's quite dangerous in some ways as well. That front could be Sunday will be a very interesting day, to say the least. Then we're off into that westerly phase. Low pressure forms in there. Winds go northerly towards for the end of June. Upper temperatures are going quite chilly, close to freezing at 50 HPA. That was like 1 degree in these lightest yellow areas. Actually, would you get the would you get a little patch of the zero sun storm very close to Scotland on the last day of June, so that's quite remarkable. And that pushes through, and we keep the winds from the north, and the zero sun storm does reach Scotland anyway, and that low pressure stays over us, keeps the wind from the north, so quite remarkable. Icon is our next run, and we push in the wind from the southwest this weekend and tomorrow and Saturday, sorry about that, and we get westerly flow. With Icon, I think that the high pressure is more dominant on Icon next week. It's closer to the south, so less wet with Icon, and arpege just like this. Same sort of scenario. High pressure to the southeast this weekend. Tracking that wind up from the southwest. And again, arpege is another one of the runs that has the low pressure a bit less influential and high pressure a bit more dominant towards the south. And actually on Monday, it has it ridging in to the south. And it stays there, and that'd be a very warm scenario actually. With the plus 15 storm pushing up to the south. Look at that. The plus 20 storm is pushing well up into the towards the Celtic Sea, and the plus 25 storm is pushing towards the Bay of Biscay. There we go. I forgot it for a second. And actually, if this high pressure goes eastwards, that would allow it to push up from the south, and that's something that may go wrong. But bear in mind that it's only this run and possibly Icon that's going for that sort of situation where the high pressure does sort of go towards us next week. So I would favour at this stage a wet week next week with frequent bouts of rain and winds. But you can't discount these runs. They could, after all, go right. Or should I say verify. Like, for example, yesterday, this was the only run that shows this sort of dry and warmer scenario. Well, now the Icon is sort of playing with it as well. So that's something that we need to watch. And before we go, let's see how bad these low temperatures will be. These minimum temperatures will be on Friday nights, because I've been blabbering on about this for quite a while. So 8 PM Friday, 20 degrees in some areas, and we go through a night, and they really don't drop that fast. So by 3 AM on Saturday, we're widely at 17 degrees. So crazy. Saturday is very warm and humid, and Saturday nights a bit cooler with clearer skies some way, but in the morning the rise again. Actually, in the UK on Sunday, because at 32 degrees, so very hot for them. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates about this spell of weather and possibly very active cold fronts. But for now, we're done, and I'll see you tomorrow.